Good morning, laddies. My name is Chance, and welcome to the What If Infinity Fairy was in Seven Deadly Sins. I know they have all the fairies, like King is a fairy, and the rest of those people, but I wanted to add more spice to it. She has a similar to the or she has kind heart. So yeah, she has a kind heart, or just like how Lady Diane, I believe her name is. Yeah, and because she has her name is Infinity, she has the power of infinity. She can tell what will happen next. Yeah. She has, like, she could bend reality to her will. Yeah, making her overpowered for it. So, yeah, whoop, sorry. So, but she doesn't usually use it unless it's a dire situation. Because she uses it for two reasons. One is if someone gets her mad, or two, no, she just wants to use it and at its full strength. But how beautiful she is the she ends up attracting most of the men. And every time she goes over, or she like goes to a different like city, there's always like people like most of the guys wants to ask her out on a date, but some are scared of her. Like most of them are scared of her. Her. But there was one man, and no, it was not Meliodas. It was, you know, that thing that I said earlier, or let me say this. It was actually one of my new characters. Or actually, no, hold on. Let me reprocess. Okay. It was Gother, the Goatsons. Yeah. Because of it didn't work out with him, like between him and her. So yeah. So then yeah. So he flew around. Basically, every fairy knows each other real well. Like King Hing actually treats her as a sister, not the. Yeah. And he sometimes says that. He sees her as his sister. So, but some girls are like really upset at her, how beautiful she is. Not, and some are just amazed by the, as even some ask her like why do you look so gorgeous? Oh, it's just how I was born. So yeah, it was so beautiful that even most of the demons from the underworld keeps like spying on her. Like, so basically I was gonna add the my other what if, the where her brother was in, like, she got a new brother thing from my old what if. So if you guys want me to do that, like add a like crossover, that would be hilarious. Because we already have people like Lady Diane getting or dates King thing. And then yeah. So basically, yeah. And in this what if, of course, she was flying around and she was hanging around with humans. And there was no like rule for them to like, because how beautiful she is. No one like, oh, let's declare war on them type. As yeah. So basically, Gother, the doll, him, ends up like getting emotions and to his, or to see that girl. Yeah, just in this what if I want to do a crossover, that will probably be tomorrow, huh? That's what I know so far. So it was way before the Seven Deadly Sins went into hiding. So then he asks her out because everyone knows that she has powers of infinity, and she's the powerfulest one. But some reason Gowther couldn't get any of his magic working on her. As the yeah, he basically the so he asks her, as he says, or actually, she says this. Well, of course, she actually is half divergent too. Like, I know I'm trying to add divergent and thing, that movie where, yeah, but she is that powerful. So, yeah. But then, of course, Gowther decides to walk up to her, but instead of like wondering or asking her a bunch of questions, he took off his glasses, or that doll's glasses, and kissed her right on her lips before she even said anything else, as she didn't expect it. So yeah, and of course I forgot to mention she actually had two people going for her. One was Gowther, and two was Droll. After watching all that, so yeah, Droll wants to love on her. Every time he sees her, he gets so embarrassed to even ask her. Because when I say some boys, or most of the boys, are scared to ask her, well, Droll and the and I'm also I forgot these main story. So yeah, so the time skip. So now the seven deadly sins are all went into hiding, and then of course the where's that guy? Where's that guy? Him says, I know that, and you aren't seven deadly sins, so oh, there won't be, okay, but we won't kill you because how beautiful you are. As most of the people, oh, can ever die. But he, or most, all of the fairies can never die in this what if. So, then I know there's like, their bodies don't deteriorate things. Well, I I had the crazy idea of if they were all like immortal, like what Bond is. So basically, yeah. So then sorry. So yeah, between Bond and, or actually, so she flies around. As, yeah. So she replanted a tree, eh? And yeah, away from, or she planted a tree, and yeah, it immediately growing. So yeah, to bring all the fairies back. So then all that stuff, of course, there's a whole fight between him. He, because it's a time skip, so he transforms into that demon, and of course goes right at King, but the fairy, or Infinity Fairy, Mary, I'll just say fairy, ends up creating a portal, teleports him away. And, or teleports that psycho to like somewhere else. As she says, "Can you move?" Like can you whack him with a hammer? As she opens the portal, as he comes in, and then he gets whacked in the face by a hammer from Lady Diane. Bam. Yeah. So then he ends up, as she knows all the infinity skills, and she doesn't want to use the all of them. But how do you feel as as she takes a breather, as she goes Super Saiyan, and yeah, so she goes Super Saiyan, and she used all the power on her and beats him around like a little rag doll, like bam, 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 bam. Yeah, he ended up basically ends up getting killed by her, but she can't control it. As she like as she basically and she tries very hard to not uh, as he or as she knows or they know that she is that powerful, but she used it to save her friends. as he or as she's like she's been knocked unconscious by Lady Diane. And she's like, whoops. Okay. And the Gother says, yeah, she's fine. Because she was about to explode. Anyways, if you hasn't done that. How do you as Gil Thunder's like, so that was the power of infinity. I'm impressed that she can hold out that long. As Gother explains that she knows that if she uses it, she will lose control of it. But she did it to protect all of us. Because she doesn't see all of us as, like, her friends. She sees us as her family. And Gil Thunder's like, huh. So what do you mean by family? Well, it's because between all of us, she really likes all of us. As who we are and what me. She sees the rest as hit, yeah. So then now of course, after all that, the Droll and the 10 Commandments got unlocked, and of course, he can send her presents as he like blushes behind that like mask thing. Huh. So yeah. Man. But all of them aren't like both of them could tell that the Joel, are you embarrassed that of a certain fairy? You really do like her, right? As Joel says, yeah, it's just every time I think about her, it always makes me blush. I don't know. I don't know what should I say, or it's as yeah. So he as Alaska because she knows how like girls work because she is a girl. So she says, well, how about because I know that you you aren't human, but you love her. Does she know that you love her? As of course, one of the other people, where is it? One of of course, him that got turned into that guy, name? Or actually, he didn't realize that Droll was also wants her love for him. So he says, well, I really want to, but I know if I do that, if I do something stupid, she'll probably release that power onto me. It's as the gallon of truth. It was like, what kind of power does she have? As he says, well, I know what person you're talking about. That girl, she has the infinity power. Whoever controls it controls the world. She isn't a goddess or a demon, but she is a fairy that has that power. As most of them has that fear of like, man, so if that's true, let's just kill her and absorb her power. As both of them, like him and Droll, were like, you will not hurt her, or you will not kill her either. And of course, Zartrosh was trying to be like out of that conversation. But when he heard that a certain girl has that much power, he thinks that it's weird that you both really like her that much. As as Droll says, as excuse me, I know that you or you have someone else has a heart, has your heart, so I'm not gonna say it, but you don't know it. Deep down, you love her so much. As not trying to be rude, it's just some of us have that love life too. As he So basically, so the king recommended, like, if, because she was training her powers. And, yeah, but if she lost control, one of the seven deadly sins has permission to kill her. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, that's what it is. So then the time skip to about Droll and the first king. You know, that fairy king, the first one? Yeah. So basically, anything like, eh? So basically, they did their maze thing as he, or as, let's say, Diane was, like, she doesn't remember who they are because of the amnesia thing. But when he, like, when her friend walks up or flies up to her and says, you might remember who I am. As as she uses her power on Lady Diane, removing the amnesia thing, and went back to back to herself. Like, she remembers who Meliodas was, Elizabeth, King, all of them. Yeah. So then, basically, she turned her back into the, or like basically turned her back into human, or like the her memories got back. So then, basically, he ends up as she has doubts. Like, she remembers all of it. As she goes in, or she flies in around. And then the whole shenanigans about the the head all by herself. So he ends up, or both of them, or all of them made it, as Droll looks down and sees her. Through his, like, paper bag thing over his head, he still feels embarrassed by every time he looks at her. As the fight thing thing. And yeah. The basically Joel, or let's say she had to work with a certain man. She worked with him. Yeah. In that suit of armor as his friend. As she's like, huh. As she's trying not to be so like, she doesn't want to use it. Because she knows that she'll lose control again and then ends up killing everybody. She has that feeling of it. Because she knows. Ready? Begin. As they start fighting. And then then she used her power as she murmurs underneath that no one could understand. That her heart belongs to both her and Joel. Because it was murmuring in really quietly. As she has to win no matter what. Or if not, she'll probably end up getting killed by. As she tries, or like she's literally trying to not be so like. As she takes a deep breath. As one of the people or like, I forget the team that both of them were battling, ends up like using full power. So then he ends up she ends up using and then she lost control of herself. As the whole stadium is about to go into crumbles. As the tear comes down her face, as she starts to lose herself. No. As Joel understands and like she wants to win, but if not, she can't imagine happening to a loser of it. As Joel runs up, jumps onto one of the rocks, and then jumps up. Of course, he actually grabs onto her and puts her near his chest. And yeah, of course she got knocked out of the ring. As of course, Joel knows that because he cares about her. So he pets her on the head and softly, because he knows that because he is in love with her. And she kind of slowly wakes up. The as she doesn't know what happened. As as the first fairy knows that that guy, he ends up telling Ellen that, of course, he tells Joel when she was sleeping that, man, you really have a heart for her. Yeah, I do. It's just her losing that power or losing control of that. Because I know. Basically, the owner as only person that really picks up what she said in that murmuring was, of course, Gunther. As Gunther walks over to Joel and tells him what she said during that murmuring thing. That she doesn't want to lose who, because she couldn't imagine her losing, or she probably would end up getting killed by the spikes or anything. And that's not all. She also said that in that murmuring that she had her heart to go, or no, actually only two people that she's in love with. Two is, I said two people, so me and you, Joel. So she loves us both. As Joel's eyes widened, he didn't realize that she had that feeling for him. Because of that. As when she woke up, for 4 hours, please wait for part 2.